Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, a member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Go to podbros.com, find yourself a fucking podcast and listen to that shit because, I can't talk because I have, vulgarity problems, so I'm just going to say listen to a fucking podcast. But go to podbros.com, listen to a podcast, and you'll enjoy it. And don't forget, go to bigjujitsu.com, buy a t-shirt, buy a patch, listen to more episodes because you like us, because you're listening to us. Maybe you've even given us a chance. I'm Rob the Lord Humongous, and today I'm joined by Devon, as usual now. How's it going, Devon?
It's going good, man. I'm ready for the day.
Nice. Very nice. It's I know it's early there for you. It's like what time you got right there?
Man, it's early for internet people like me. I think it's barely going to be 12 right now or something like that. Yeah, it's 12:10, so it's semi-early. It really 12 for me is like probably 9 a.m. for like a normal person, just because the amount of like sleep that I get.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're usually a night owl. I mean, what's cool is like I will catch your live, was it streams or not even podcasts, but like your statuses on Facebook or even Periscope now, when I'm waking up for PT in the morning, just because of the time difference. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy, yeah. Internet. I mean, stuff's more entertaining at nighttime, I guess. Like the internet isn't that fun before, 7 p.m.
No, not at all. Everybody's being lame and shit on there. But so this week, I had talked to the two girls from the Mixed Feelings podcast, and they're gonna probably kill me. I don't remember their name. However, if you go to this week's episode, I believe it's episode 21 or 22. I actually had it on my podcast player. They have something called the Mixed Feelings Mafia, right? And I sent them a message because they followed our podcast. So I said, it's episode 22, by the way. I said, hey, what's it going to take for the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show to get beat into their gang? So on episode 22, they beat us in. You, me, Jonathan, Sean, and Matt. We all get nicknames. Some of us even started a chapter in their gang. And we got some pretty sweet nicknames. I'm not going to ruin the surprise because you got to go listen to it. But their podcast is pretty fucking entertaining.
I'm going to have to check it out. I mean, just the name alone sounds entertaining, and like the fact that we got beat in, that's way better than getting jumped in by like a gang for 13 seconds. This actually sounds entertaining.
13 seconds? Dude, I could totally take that.
I know. That's kind of what I think too. That was in junior high, the gangs around here, there's a split between the Norteños and the Sureños at the junior high school I went to, and like to be in the gang, you would have to get like in either side, either like jumped in for 13 seconds, or one gang had to give you body shots for 14 seconds. Like you just had to stand there and take shots to the body.
Jesus. Never mind. Stupid. Never mind. That sounds fucking awful. I'm gonna pass on that shit. Fucking don't hit me, man. Don't fucking hit me. I'm lazy. Don't do that shit. Fuck. So yeah, go check out episode 22. And just how about this? Check out the whole fucking thing. Check out all their episodes because it is entertaining. It gives me a good laugh on the way to work, so I don't, flip my car over, just so I don't have to go in. But so yeah, that's what's still it's been a week, man. It's only been about half a week since we last talked, and it feels like it's been a full fucking week.
I know, man. Sometimes I'm sitting at home and I'm just like, man, there's some shit I want to say, but you ever have those like Easter eggs that you're like, man, I want to talk about this, but I don't want to talk about this to myself. I want to talk about this to some people that actually want to hear it, assuming that all you guys listening actually want to hear it, so you're not just here hoping that we fuck up live, you know what I mean?
Oh, we will. We'll fuck up live. Don't worry about that.
Oh, we'll fuck up a lot. We're going to fuck up a lot.
Yeah, no.
That's cool that those girls... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead, man. I got it.
No, those girls... That's cool that those girls have a podcast like that. Not to get in this whole like gender neutral thing, but like I don't find a lot of girls that have podcasts, and the ones that have had podcasts, they're not that entertaining. Not because they're females, mostly just because they're just not that entertaining, honestly. So I feel like they give the other girls like a bad rap. So the fact that these girls have a podcast that's entertaining, that's fucking awesome. I'm gonna go listen to that shit after this.
Yeah, like I'm fairly easy to entertain. Like if you could sum up my humor, it's if a dog is or any animal is wearing like people clothes, it's fucking hilarious to me. So it's not hard to keep me entertained. But they're but at the same time, like they keep me entertained for a full hour, and they're not a member of the Pod Bros podcast network, so I'm sorry, but fuck it, they beat us in. So, and we're gonna have them on the show at some point. I need to reach back out to them again. So, they're pretty
Good
much
shit, good shit.
the message I got from fuck, I'm so sorry because both of them are gonna set the record straight when we get it. It was on Instagram. I got a DM from them. It was pretty much LOL, not an MMA expert, so we may not be able to provide too much on the subject. Bullshit. We just drink beers and watch fights like a couple of rednecks. Are you fucking kidding me? That's like my pastime right there. Get drunk as fuck and watch fights and talk shit the entire time. That's like, if I had a hobby, it would be jujitsu, podcasting, and getting intoxicated and watching MMA fights.
Fuck yeah! I wish we had like a camera to pan to like a Buffalo Wild Wings somewhere in the United States, and as soon as that as soon as you read that DM, there'd be like a crowd of people like holding their beers up, like
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Going crazy.
Fuck. God damn it. I love Buffalo Wild Wings on any other day except UFC day. But I think I've said that so many fucking times on this podcast that it just, whatever, man. I can only say that so many times before people are like, yeah, we fucking get it, Rob. Shut the fuck up. So, but this past episode, or this past week, I even, actually more like 2 days, I said, hey, we're going to answer some questions on the air. Who's got a question?
But,
And we've actually gotten
fuck yeah.
pretty good like feedback, not just like posts, but you know, Jesus Christ, man, it's like not 2001 again. All right, let me rephrase that. Private messages on Facebook. I just go back. People posted on our guest book on our webpage.
I know you're
my
like,
live.
they hit us up on the AIM and
they left responses on my live journal, and where my feeling is always apathetic. Yeah, right. No, but people have reached out to us and we started talking, and we got a couple good questions. Some jiu-jitsu related, I think one not jiu-jitsu related. So, let's go ahead and get the jiu-jitsu one of the jiu-jitsu ones out of the way. I'm gonna read it real quick. It comes from shameless plug, my friend Marcus. So, you know, we're gonna read it, and it's actually a pretty good one. Not because it's my buddy Marcus, but I think it's something that we've all kind of run into. So here it goes. It says, so I've been having some mental and physical hurdles in jiu-jitsu lately. I had a great tournament. My professor even publicly congratulated me on the best tournament I have ever fought. But then the following week, I get my ass handed to me by people whom haven't been to class in a while, or from people I normally would crush. Sticking with it, as others have told me to do, is easier said than done, especially when your esteem is slowly diminishing. What mental tactics or exercises should I be implementing to get over this plateau? So, fuck, man, I've been there myself, so I understand completely where you just show up to class and you get your ass beat. I don't know, like, Devon, you're pretty fit guy, pretty good looking guy. I imagine that isn't a common occurrence to you, though.
You know what? So the most I could say about the whole mental thing, because obviously it's different for everybody. But what I have found 100% entirely to change my success in any area, like on the mat and kind of outside of it too. But I mean, everything can relate, I suppose. Is that I think when you first start getting real competitive with yourself, as far as wanting to get better and trying to like analyze what you're doing to make progress. At first, you're trying to look at people, and you're kind of almost comparing yourself to the people that are big in the sport or maybe around you who have success in your eyes, and you start trying to emulate them a little bit, not necessarily with their moves, but what they might be doing, because that only makes sense, right? You're going to look at a successful person and be like, you know what? I need to do some stuff that they do because that's going to help me out. And I did that for a little while too, but I was fucking up. But once you start just kind of saying, you know what, like Mike Tyson said, the only way to be 100% successful as like a fighter is to rid yourself of all humility. And like, I completely agree with that. Like, I think once you are 100% yourself and you don't give a fuck anymore, I think everything opens up, because once you are just completely willing to let yourself be, you're going to find yourself not doing the same moves that you see on YouTube, or not feel like you're stuck in some system that you've been drilling for a month. Your just body's just gonna flow. Your mentality's gonna be completely different. You're gonna develop your own just I guess game and tactics and all that good shit that you might not be doing otherwise if you were just I don't know trying to follow the same blueprint as someone else who you think is successful.
No, I agree with that absolutely because it's it was something I had a conversation with one of my students. I would say it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he asked me, "What's it going to take to get to blue belt?" And I said, "Dude, there's really no set path that you need for me for what I've come through with multiple schools. Is that there isn't really a set path for you to get your blue belt. There are things I want to see. There are things that are going to happen, but for me to compare your journey to blue belt to somebody else's or even my own is unfair because that's like you're doing jiu-jitsu for a completely different reason than I'm doing jiu-jitsu. We might both like competing. We might both like just hanging out with dudes, but there's something in there in your mind that's different than me. And that's not good. That's not bad. It's just the way it is. So that's one part of it. The other part isn't going to suck after coming back from the tournament. You're king shit. I'm not saying that in a negative way. Like you're going to be like, dude, I'm the fucking man. I just won this tournament, destroyed it. Nobody can touch me now. Yeah, it happens. It happens to everybody, I promise you. And people who haven't been to class in a while, their skills might just line up differently than yours. You know, Dan White always talks about styles make fights. If somebody's really good at passing guard and I'm really good at retaining guard, that's going to be an entertaining match. However, if I have really shitty guard retention, they have really good guard passing, even if they haven't been to class in half a year, it's still going to be terrible for me. That's just the way it is. And then on top of that, like, you know, you shouldn't be down about it. It's always going to come in waves. Like you're going to be on top of the world doing fucking awesome, and then you're going to be like, why can't I hit scissor sweeps on anybody? Like this whole week I haven't hit a single scissor sweep on like white belts, anybody. I can't do shit. It's just the way it is. And yeah, it's going to get annoying hearing, we'll just keep training because everybody's going to say it till they're blue in the face because honestly it's the truth and it's the best thing that's going to work. But if you go in there with the mindset that they're your team, there's no winning in training, save it for competition, dude, you can walk off the mat happy every day. Promise. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let your feelings get hurt on the mat. That's fine if they do, but just remember that they're your team. The only people you should be worried about beating are people from other teams. That's it. So don't stress out too much about. And the good news is, if you get your ass beat on the mat, that just means you're going to be even more prepared for the next tournament.
That's true. That's like inevitable. You know what I mean? It's always like that too, because you'd be a black belt, and there's be times where you might be rolling with like a buddy or someone that you like training with, or you're like they'll catch you, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get this motherfucker back. It's like it's part of being competitive too. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that everyone just deals with from time to time too. Like it's almost one of those things that like it never goes away. So you're always just like, all right, well, it's almost like you mature in your aspect of looking at it and everything like that. I don't know. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think, and I feel like you too. None of us will ever get used to like getting subbed or even our guards passed or whatever or sweeped or anything like that. But you almost become accepting of it during training because like you're putting yourself in positions you wouldn't normally, and all this. You know, there's so many variables.
Yeah. Like honestly, I'm finally to the point now where I'm like, oh well, I just had everybody like today. Today was a lot of bad positioning for me just because you know what's coming up in November. So I wanted to kind of have people just beat my ass all day, but it's something I accept because if they don't do it, then Dude Man's gonna do it in November, and I'm gonna look real fucking foolish in the ring. But it used to be even in the blue belt, I couldn't handle it. Like a fucking white belt just passed my guard. It's time to fucking break his back. Like that's not the fucking attitude to have. Like so, it's just the only thing you prove at that point is that you're an asshole. That's it. So, I mean, if you can't, I get not being able to accept defeat, and that's cool because most people I hang out with, they're not people who like to lose. and not in the sense that they're going to do anything it takes to lose in like a negative moral way, like something that's going to go against their morals, but they just have this drive that they want to win, like, and it's awesome. And those are the type of people I want to be around.
100%, 100%. That's a somebody was like we were on Xbox Live once, and I was playing with my friend. They're all professional gamers, so I'm like the freaking like runt out of the group. I suck, and but I'm good at talking shit. And there was some team we played with on like 10 games, bro. We were just smashing on, destroying them. And we got back in the lobby, and the guy was like, "You fucking guys think you're all bad? We're just doing this shit for fun." And I just remember thinking in my head, like, if this shit was for fun, like we would not be keeping score. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still always competing no matter what. Like, someone's still gonna win or lose. But I don't know. I don't know if that's completely related, but I think that's just more of like a random stream of consciousness that came out of my head in like
No,
regards to like
it's
competing.
exactly right. Like, people are gonna have passions. I don't like being labeled the loser in any competition. Like, it pisses me off because I like to win, but I'm not going to compromise like myself to win.
Oh yeah.
So
You're not gonna spit on that dude's face just because you lost or whatever.
no, I'm going to treat him like, and that's the cool thing. Like, everybody, the majority, except for one guy, two guys, I take that back. Two guys I've ever competed against. Like, I've had great conversations with him afterwards. I remember one guy, I don't even think he's training anymore. That's how long ago it was. I remember saying like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're this guy. Like, my coach was telling me a lot about you." Yeah. I'm like, cool, man. Great fucking conversation. I don't mean to interfere with your fucking life at a jiu-jitsu tournament. I'm trying to be friendly, but whatever, man. Don't fucking matter.
Yeah, for real. Fuck that. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I don't know his name, but fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy for real, man. I got shit to do. So what's the question that you got? I know you said you had a somewhat good one, so I want to hear it. What's the question you had?
So this is straight from my brother. I'm going to give him a shameless plug, Miles Martinez. Even though he doesn't really have social media anymore, shout out to him in the real world that has some other stuff to do. You know what I mean? He asked me, this was his statement / question. He said, "I'm going to have a baby in August. Is this going to take away from my training, or is it going to completely ruin my life?"
Holy fuck. That goes from one extreme to the other. So, oh man. So you weren't joking. So to give the listeners an idea, Devon really put up something that was like, "Hey, we'll answer anything you ask us." Like, granted, these are all jiu-jitsu related, but in reality, we will answer anything you ask us. Like, doesn't even fucking matter. Just send us a question. However, one of them was it something like jiu-jitsu to having babies? We know everything. And look,
Yeah,
if we don't, we
everything.
will make it the fuck up so you think we know what we're talking about. So having a baby, congratulations, by the way. Will having a baby affect his training, or will it ruin his life forever? That's actually a really good question. Nope, that is like, believe it or not, there is some concern there. I feel it's like a relevant concern for people who really love jiu-jitsu. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, you're good. You're good. For sure. Like, you almost think if you're gonna have a baby, it's not that you're like, "Man, I really don't want to have this baby," but I think everything comes into question, right? Like, if you are really into fucking cross country skiing and you have a baby, you're automatically gonna think like, "Man, am I gonna be able to do this shit as much as I used to?" So I mean, if jiu-jitsu is obviously something that's big in his life, he's pretty much thinking the same thing. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of friends who have kids, and they're doing the whole family thing now. They're later on in their lives, and I'm sure that they thought of the same thing too in regards to other things before they did jiu-jitsu. So I don't think it's going to ruin his life. But this is the funny thing. I think everyone at first thinks that it's going to take away from the training, and I'm sure it does. It definitely does. It makes it a little bit harder because there's something else there. But what's hilarious is, like, at the gym now, like, there's something in the mats over there. Like, I'm knocking on wood every day because people are getting pregnant like month after month after month, and there's babies being had month after month.
Are you trying not to get pregnant? Is what you're saying? You have the chance of getting pregnant?
Yeah, I might be the first male in history to get pregnant because there's something in that gym, dude. Seriously. Other than that lady that was on Oprah like 6 or 7, that's irrelevant. All right, so yeah, no, I think that I think really, Miles. I think you should just once that baby's done, you wipe all the stuff off. Once she comes out, I think you should just bring her to the gym the next day. Just leave her there, hang her out. Yeah, that's what everyone else does. At least they bring their kid and they just let them like chill, and they kind of. It's weird watching them grow up in the gym. There's some kids that have been there for 2 years now where I don't even realize they're growing up that much, and it's just that their dad's been bringing them so consistently that like they're pretty much growing up around, literally around jujitsu. Like you're seeing them that often. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and we had when I was in Arizona, we had people bringing their kids in. Virginia, like everywhere, people bring their kids in, and it's fine. I mean, unless they're all right. This is a pet peeve of mine. If your kid has shoes on and he's running across a fucking mat, we're gonna have issues because I don't like MRSA or any other weird shit that's picked up outside. However, that goes for adults as well. They'll do nasty shit like that too. However, like kids are gonna play, kids are gonna act like kids, and that's fine. Rico, who was a guest on our show a long time ago. Wow, because this podcast is a year and a half old, just about. He brings his daughter. He shows up with his daughter and his wife, beats the shit out of me, and leaves. That's pretty much like his rundown of what he does. So, like, it works. And all the coaches I've seen, like a good example, Coach Brian. His daughter Maddie, who was 5 or 6 when he opened up his gym, and it was weird because it was like walking in the gym, and my old nickname used to be Smiley because I smiled a lot because I had so much fun just having people beat the shit out of me. Was she would go, "Oh, Smiley," run up and like, do the pick me up thing, and she's 6, so I'd pick her up and she'd fucking put me in an arm triangle. I'm like, come on. She'd run around the gym hitting people in the shins with one of those Eskrima sticks, and now she's like grown up and stuff. It's crazy. And like still in my mind, it's like, dude, Maddie's like 6. Like Davi from Andre's gym. He's always gonna be, young. I don't give a shit if he's 18. He's like, oh dude, you're like what, 7 now? Like, oh man, I'm fucking 18. Like, oh my bad. He's 7. It's weird.
Dude, my little cousins. It's hella weird. My little cousins, they're beasts. Like my little cousin Mikey, they've only wrestled for 2 years now, but they've done jujitsu forever. They went to like my cousin Mikey, he went state in wrestling. Like they're all really good. They all made it to masters. They're both like the other two brothers were like a match away from state. They're just beasts. And they won kids pans like multiple years when they were younger. They're really really good jiu-jitsu kids. They just haven't branched out as far as getting their names out there because they don't fit the part pretty much, And but they're good. And what's weird is like it's the same thing. Like I kind of watched them grow up too around the mats. Even before I did jiu-jitsu, they were doing jiu-jitsu. And it's the same thing. It's like, man, you like think of it like my little cousin Ethan, he's gonna be 18, the other one of them's be 17, the other one's be 16. It's weird to look back and be like fuck, this is kind of crazy. But also another thing that I was gonna say, and I don't know if you've ever felt this, I don't feel guilty like when it comes to training hard and shit like that. But in reference to kids being around, like the one time I actually do feel guilty to sound dumb is when I'm like beating somebody up while their kids are watching. Have you ever had that happen before? I've been conscious of that, like, because there's so many kids around the gym where sometimes I'm like, man, I feel bad beating this guy up in front of his kid because a majority of the time the kids do jujitsu as well and they know what's happening. I always feel terrible.
Kind of not because I don't know. I can't really think of times where somebody's kids are on the mat and I manhandle the fuck out of them. It's just, it always seems like, well, let's go with like Rico and Andre. That I'm not fucking beating either of them right now. Let's just put it that way. They're just killing me, right? So that leaves like a couple other guys. So like my buddy Dan had a daughter. She was too young, so maybe she doesn't remember. I'm trying to think of who else. Chris Hardy. Oh, I just gave his last name. That's okay. That doesn't narrow it down, but his son would watch class. Oh, I do take it back. I really do. I had one time, and I will withhold his name, and it was one of the few times I've tapped somebody out and felt like a piece of shit at the same time. So there was a gentleman I rolled with at one of the academies I trained with, and he was just notorious for either going super hard or just stalling the fuck out. So my mind goes, nah, man, not today. You're fucking losing. So I kept sweeping them, tapping them, and his kids came on the mat because they were ready to go because it was past class time, and he just wanted to keep going, hopefully getting a win. And he told the kids to get the fuck away from him. I was like, fuck.
Oh.
Like, I get it. This goes back to the frustration thing. I felt so bad. Like, but then later on, I thought about it. Those shower thoughts after class. It's not me to control. I mean, you show up to jiu-jitsu. Dude, I show up to jiu-jitsu and I run the risk of getting my ass beat the whole night. Like, if my wife shows up and she can watch me get my ass beat all night, that's what's going to happen. And that's the thing, too. People bring fucking girlfriends in the class and they turn in.
Oh, dude.
Fuck, man. That is the worst thing ever. And I'm not saying because they support you. That's not why it's the worst thing ever. It's because it turns into a fight for life or death that one of these alpha male dudes are just going to tap you out, walk over to your girlfriend, and just grab her by the butt and make out with her. That is not going to happen.
So, all right. There's this guy. He's a cool guy. We're friends now, or I should say, we are friends. We're more like we have respect for each other now. When I was like, I dated this girl in high school for probably 4 years, like half high school, half out of high school.
Yeah.
And then there's another high school in town, and this guy that I train with now on occasion, him and his girl were dating for like 4 or 5 years, half in high school, about pretty much the same time frame, right? And so me, myself, and his girlfriend at the time were going to the same junior college. And granted, I still have a girlfriend, and she still has a boyfriend, that guy. And we are in the same communications class, and we're in the same group. On top of that, we were working at the same place. There's just a lot of things lining up. And me being the dog that I am, start texting her because that's how I was when I was young. And I had her number from our group project, and we became friends. We got a little bit closer. We pretty much used each other as scapegoats for these relationships we were in that we didn't really want to be in. And we just made it like 100% public. We were like, hey, like we're together. We had broken up with, her boyfriend. I broke up with my girl. And everyone was kind of looking at us like, man, these people are pieces of shit. You know what I mean? Because everyone knows each other in the town that I live. And they're like, man, fuck them. And he wanted to fight me for like a while, and me being like, some white belt who's young and athletic and thought I could just fucking beat everyone up. I was like, all right, let's fucking fight. Let's go. He never showed up, but fast forward 2 or 3 years, he started training as well, and he started coming into the gym that, I train at. And like, we had already gotten past all that stuff, but there was still that little hint of like, this guy, did some shady shit back in the day, which I take full responsibility for. But I remember the first time we rolled, my friend Alex, he looked at me and he was like smiling because he was like, he didn't even say it. He's like, he knew it was going to happen. And we just fucking went at it. I'm not joking, for like 12 or 13 minutes straight. Like,
Oh, hell
we went
yeah.
through like 2.5 rounds and we were just like, gah. Like, there was no pulling guard. There was no nothing. It was not even really like a technical roll. It was just like, I'm going to fucking grab your pants and put my head down, and we're just going to pretty much like fight without punches for 12 minutes.
Fuck, man.
But after that, we were all cool. Everything was cool.
And I love how that works out. Like, you just have it out with your boy or whatever. And just, if two dudes fight, it's done. It's like done. There's nothing else to it. You've given it all. You try to make your point. You try to win. You lost. Go out and have a beer. Just, that's the way it is. Like, maybe that's the redneck, the repressed redneck that's in me. But that's just how it is. Like, you fucked up and, like you made out with your buddy's girl or some other guy's girl, and you fucking fight over it, and then you both realize that you're fucking idiots for dating her, and you go out and get a beer. That's it. There's nothing else to it. But like with girls, it seems like they could have like a full-on fight and still fucking hate each other afterwards.
Oh yeah, because girls are freaking conniving. They are they have a little bit they have something different in their genome. They're more ruthless than men.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's that whole, like, we're mammals no matter what, no matter how it goes. We're tribal people. It's just the way it is. And there's always going to be a leader of some sort. And if you beat the leader, it's kind of not as bad as like out in the wild where they just cast you out or whatever and make you starve, but it's still there. And I have more respect for people if we had a disagreement and they say, let's fucking fight it out. okay, man, let's fucking fight it out. We'll go hit the wood line. Doesn't matter who wins, doesn't matter who loses, but we're going to be buddies when we walk out of it because that's just the way it is. It's weird, but it's awesome.
It's yeah, it's true. It's like the downfall of our the male species almost like gives us like a positive on like the evolution scale.
Yeah, it's well, that's the other thing too. Is like there's a lot of talk about the decline in manliness. I guess is the best way to put it. In like the passiveness of males is kind of celebrated now instead of the assertiveness. I guess is the best way to put it. And that kind
It's
of
true. It's true. It's true.
that weird doesn't really weird me out. Maybe it's because I'm old fashioned in my really old age of being 31. The fuck. Start going to Golden Corral on Sundays and watching Matlock while I'm at it. But but there's still like to me certain things should get you punched in the face, and there should be no repercussions for it. Like if I walk down the street, I see somebody, I'm like, hey, fuck you, and he lays me out, I deserve that. I deserve that 100%. But it just seems like there's not a lot of that anymore, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that people get confused. People that are not involved in a lot of conflict, and I don't mean drama. I mean like true physical contact. I mean conflict. They don't really understand the whole nature of it. So like for all of us, like someone that trains jujitsu, like some of you guys, you can really differentiate what real conflict is and what like physical conflict is. And I think that's a big deal when it comes to dealing with situations because if you don't understand that, everything is just madness to you. Like it's chaos whenever there's any like bit of like a tension between people. So like for women, I feel like that's how it is a lot of the time. They aren't involved in a lot of physical conflict. So when something happens, it's like World War III. But for like a dude who is boxing every day or does jujitsu or that wrestles or whatever, they can kind of approach situations a little bit different, and they could really, I don't know, analyze the situation and be like, you know what, yeah, if we were to fight, everything would be okay after this, or, you know, like fuck that guy, I just need to say fuck off, and or yeah, I just need to punch this dude in the face and I'll be good. Like I feel like there's a measure that we understand that a female wouldn't, whereas a female is just like it's all or nothing. I'm gonna fucking cut that girl's head off.
Yeah, no, it's fuck. It's weird because conflict is every day. Like you and I, we pretty much train to fight every day, regardless of what you want to think about it. Oh, jiu-jitsu is just a hobby. I do it for exercise or whatever. No, you learn how to choke people unconscious and break shit on them. There's no nice way to put that. There can be the Zen part of it, which I'm really cool with. You know, it's my form of therapy, but at the end of the day, we're practicing to fuck people up and get better at fucking people up. That's all there is to it. So, I don't know. I think it's calming. No, it's like almost like learning about a gun. Everybody's afraid of a gun until they kind of learn about it, that it's a tool, and that, yes, I'm going all fucking North Carolina on everybody here. It's a tool, and it's dangerous in the hands of people who can't control it and want to do harm to others. Which is why I'm glad there's not like roving gangs of fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioners like robbing people and fucking like
Seriously, man.
dude, that would be awful. Or a really good script for a movie.
Oh, okay. Shout out to this guy named Spencer. I forget his last name that we train with. I don't even think he has a Facebook. I don't. He probably doesn't even listen to this, but he,
He
he's
better
a
be,
character. Man. He
goddamn it.
reminds me. Yeah, he reminds me of Richard Gordon Dixon. This is why I remembered him because he's got the same personality. He told me that he wanted to write a short film script for YouTube about the jiu-jitsu version of Like Mike, like that movie. So if you
Oh,
guys don't know what
really?
Like Mike is, it was the movie with Lil Bow Wow in it, and he finds a pair of old Jordans in the trash, and he puts them on, and he's amazing at basketball. And then, so that's pretty much what you can draw for this guy's jiu-jitsu movie is that, you know, there's this kid, he finds a gi, puts it on, he's like freaking Marcelo and Hickson and one person, he's a fucking like god. And then, I guess the end of the movie, he was supposedly going to lose the gi, and he's at this big tournament, and he's like, oh man, what am I going to do? How am I going to win this tournament? I don't have my fucking gi. puts on like somebody else's gi they're letting him borrow, and he goes and he fucks everyone up. And moral of the story, he realized it was never the gi. It was really him. It's really cheesy, but the way he's explaining it, it would have been hilarious. I'm really hoping he follows through with it. I'm actually gonna hit him up and help him out with that. It sounds
Hell
like
yeah.
a hilarious script to go through with.
Speaking of Richard Gordon Dixon, we need to get his ass on the show.
Oh my God, he would be. For just to give a little background, Richard Gordon Dixon, he needs no introduction, so fuck a background. He is probably the most entertaining person, and I shit you not, I'm not just saying this. He is probably one of the most entertaining people I've ever met in my life, because he is 100% himself, and he does not have to try. Like, there's some times where we might be getting on this podcast, guys, and we're just like either hopped up on caffeine, or Rob might have a little bit of scotch, and we're just blurting out a lot of nonsense. This guy is 24/7 a beast. This guy is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite Richard Gordon Dixon, and you have to say all three names. I can't even abbreviate them. I can even call him RGD. Like, it has to be Richard Gordon Dixon. I remember in class, because we started about the same time, and I remember being just tired as shit. And like kind of walking across the mats, and he comes up and he goes, "Hey Rob, taters." I'm like, "What? Taters?" He's like, "Yeah, taters, man." And does like the pound. He's like, "That's taters, man. You gotta do taters." I'm like, "All right, man, that's cool." He's like, "Don't forget the French fries." I'm like, "What the French fries?" And he does the wiggle your fingers with the other guy wiggling the fingers. I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I felt so much better after that. And that just taters is worldwide now. I make sure I spread taters because of Richard Gordon Dixon. Just the way it
is. Oh my God, Richard Gordon Dixon. I'm actually gonna send him a message. I'm probably gonna send him like something really vulgar, and just see what he gives me back, just for the entertainment for the day. I miss Richard, actually. I haven't talked to him for a little while.
Oh, me either, man. I haven't seen him since like 2005, and it really bums me out. But
that's way too long, man.
It is, man. Oh, I fucking miss that guy. Now I'm gonna cry. And hopped up on scotch, man? Really? There's like so many other things I could be drinking too. I do drink scotch though, so I can't really deny that. But
what do you normally drink if you sit down and have a drink when you're just chilling?
Depends, really.
Like, other than beer, like let's say liquor.
Dude, I'm pretty much like an old man. Like, vodka tonics do it for me because.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. I'm trying to get buzzed, but not waste 1,000 calories to feel something.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I saw something earlier today. Somebody posted. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was a Ron Swanson picture. It said clear liquor is for, what is it? Rich women rich women are on a diet or something like that. I'm like, fuck you, Ron Swanson. It's halfway true, motherfucker. But that's the first time I've ever said that. Because I think Ron Swanson's amazing. Because he's a man's man. That's the way it is. But what about you, man? What's your drink?
So I like cheap whiskey. I like Jack Daniels. Me and Sinatra have that in common right there. Yeah, man, just Jack Daniels. I like it on the rocks. If I'm gonna get tore up, I'll chase it with some Coke maybe for the first couple, and then once my mouth goes numb, it's just by itself. And then outside of that, the number one drink. This is me and my friend Michael Grisby. This is our 100%. It's 151. And we chase it with a Blue Monster, or if we're going to be out for the night, we put it in a white cup and we put a lot of ice, and it's about maybe a third 151 and the rest a Monster. It's the best drink in the world. It tastes, so, but mixing caffeine and liquor, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. It's bad for you, but it's amazing. it's a great feeling.
It'll get you fucked up, but it's pretty awesome. Oh man.
Yeah.
Like Jaeger bombs and vodka Red Bulls, I can't do them. I just can't. It ruins it for me. Like,
you just feel too sick, or what?
I don't know if it's too sick. It's just it took me forever to drink Red Bull again because I had such a bad experience with Jaeger bombs. Oh my God. So I blacked out at one point. I just woke up on my friend's bathroom floor, and I don't know if you ever seen Homestar Runner videos with Strong Bad or whatever, and he sounded just like Strong Bad. So I'm laying on the bathroom floor. The door opens up, and there's a bottle. He's from where is it? Venezuela, His hand comes through the door, and he's got a bottle of water in it, and he goes, Rob, you need to drink this water to feel better. And I'm fucking just grab this water, drink it, and vomit it all up immediately. And that was pretty much the rest of from like 3 a.m. to fucking 8 a.m. And never again. So fast forward, like this was 2000, shit, how old was I? So like 2004. We'll say 2004. It's 2012, 2013. I finally can drink Red Bull again. Oh, so terrible. So I gotta steer clear from that.
I got sick off of Captain Morgan. It was like the same thing when I was like 15 or 16, like one of those early run-ins where I was just throwing up everywhere and I couldn't chew like even cinnamon gum for a couple of years.
Oh, that's awful, man. That's like a fate worse than death almost, because cinnamon gum is amazing. Fucking like Big Red, it's so good. Yeah, just you can't drink it. Ugh. It's like Fireball now, though. I gotta be careful with Fireball because, like I said, I love cinnamon gum so much that I could just turn into like one of those fake Southern girls. You know, ooh, I love Fireball. I'm so country, except I'm from fucking New York City or some shit. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like that. I wear mossy oak every day. I have a bow hunting sticker on the back of my car, but I live in the middle of the goddamn city. Like, you're not fooling anybody, okay? Like
that's how it is here. We have
really?
girls here and guys here, dude. We're not like urban city, but we're more city than we are. We're kind of like half and half. We have a little bit of city part, and then we have a lot of farm part, but it's not really like the South at all. But there's these people out here that got Southern accents. I'm like, you're from fucking California. We live in the Valley. Like, there's more like Mexicans and everyone here than there is like anyone from the South. Like, where do you get that accent from? It's just like, I don't care. Like, that's cool. Like, have an accent, but I know it's fake, and they wear their boots everywhere and all this shit. Like, that's cool. I don't care how you dress. Just don't have that fucking fake ass accent.
Yeah, it's funny to me too, because Mike, for some reason you were a skateboarder last year, but when did you become a redneck hunter this year?
100%. 100%.
I can't say shit though. Well, actually, yeah, I can, because I'm still like a skater punk at heart, all the way back from like 2000. So at some point, I'm gonna realize I'm old as fuck and I can't be rocking out and shit. But whatever, man. I'll make it work. All right. So we're gonna save a couple more of these questions for next time. If you gave us a question we didn't answer it, I'm really sorry. The good news is this weekend we will have James Hoffman on the show, and he owns a soap company. Give me a second. And I just fucking looked at it. You know what? Guys, I'm sorry. It's been a long night of doing jiu-jitsu, so I apologize. He owns the Trap and Roll Soap Company. God damn it, that was right on the tip of my tongue, too. And it is amazing. I just used some tonight. Feels good on my body, so you might need to check that out. So he'll be on the show, and we're going to implement something every time we have a guest on the show. So it's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be kind of crazy, and hopefully it's entertaining. If they like it, we're going to stick with it. It's just going to be that much more fun. So, Devon, you got anything for the listeners before we head out tonight?
Guys, I'm going to be on Saturday at Dave Camarillo's Jiu-Jitsu Grand Prix. It's an invitational tournament at his gym. There's going to be some really good matches there. It's not really a plug to say, but it is for myself in the sense that I'm going to bring my tablet and my headset and everything like that, and I'm going to stream live during the super fight and do some commentary for however long it lasts. It's going to be Dan Camarillo versus Danny Bohegan. I forgot to say Danny's last name. I just call him spell check. So Danny, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your last name, but it's going to be entertaining, guys. Maybe I'll do some commentary for some of the kids' matches or whatever, play it by ear. But yeah, you can watch me on that stream. Add me on all my social media. I am Symphony, guys. And then, hey, Mackenzie Dern, if you're out there listening, let's get together. Let's link up.
I'm gonna almost hunt her down now. So I think you have a better chance than that creep show I met at the tournament. You know Mackenzie Dern? Yeah. I go to the same academy as her. Okay, man, that's really fucking cool, I guess. Yeah, and he just walks off. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. Yeah, that wouldn't be...
I'm going to find you. I'm going to punk your ass. That guy from Arizona, I'm going to find you, and if you try to talk to my woman again, me and Rob are going to hunt you down, and we're going to give you a big jiu-jitsu beatdown.
I already know what the fuck you look like, so you better run and hide, bitch. So that's as much shit talk as I'm going to do today. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it has been the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com. Find a podcast that is not quite as entertaining as the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, but something you might like, and listen to them as well. And don't forget to go to bigjujitsu.com. Find all your Big Jiu-Jitsu needs, shirts, patches, episodes of our past, I don't know. What's a good word for that? Episodes of our past what? Adventures? Conversations?
Yeah. Journeys through life.
Very good. Interviews. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter. Big Jiu-Jitsu is easy to find. And Instagram now. And we are finally on Periscope. I just set that up today at Big Jiu-Jitsu. So we are going to start streaming some random shit as well. I'm Rob the Lord Humongous, and we will catch you guys next time.